I wanted Nick to share some practical advice of how you can increase your leads through Facebook. So Nick, let's get going. Now, here's what I'd love for everyone to do. You're going to have an opportunity to ask Nick some questions. You can put those in the chat box and I will read them to him. We were talking about the fact that you had gone into real estate. We had talked about kind of where you had come from. So Nick, first question I want to ask you, what was your past experience that led you to grow your real estate business primarily through social media?
It's kind of a funny story because I honestly hated social media. I knew nothing about it. I didn't have it. I used to run big box retail stores, and because I was a GM, a store leader, I didn't want anybody knowing my business, right? So I didn't even have social media. And then Lindsay, my wife, started Beachbody, which I know you guys have heard before, but it's funny because we were outside sitting by her parents' fire on their back porch, and her mom literally takes my phone and downloaded Facebook. And then Lindsay put a profile picture up of me. So she posted my first post, and I had no idea about it. And her mom's like, "You're doing this because you network better than anyone I've ever met. And True. I know you're going to help her blow her business up." So I bit the bullet and did it. And I figured, hey, if she could make enough money to retire me from retail, why not use my sphere of influence as well, right?
Right.
So a lot of people don't think of their social media as their sphere of influence, but that's my primary sphere of influence, other than just my family and friends and colleagues, you know. So that's kind of how it all started. And then from there, I just started utilizing it like Beachbody taught us how to, and kind of just realizing that you can hit so many more people by just being on social media than actually just like walking out into a grocery store in person and seeing people, or, you know, just walking down the street and seeing two people. You're walking through your phone seeing 1 million people.
How about that? That's a different way of looking at it, right?
Yep.
So Nick, you started in real estate what year?
6 years ago last month.
6 years ago last month.
Yep.
And then last year, what was your volume?
65 million.
65 million in 6 years. And we would be remiss to say you have two partners. It's the trio, so three musketeers, I should say, right? Yep. You, Stephen Voronkov, and Josh Holt.
Yep.
So it's the three of you. You guys all work together, and you have a team.
Yes, we do.
So, all right. So this is a short show. So listen up, guys. I'm going to ask Nick the question that you're all waiting to hear. All right. So this is teaching time. So get your questions coming based on what Nick says. So I've got this.
I want all the questions too. I love when people interact with me and ask me questions. It leads to so much more content. So that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So please, questions. If I'm an agent, right? I am an agent. And the only thing I'm doing now to take action on social media is really just posting. Like I might post some stories. I have a company that I've hired to like post my just listed and just sold and pending. And I might do that. Huh?
I said, that's your first mistake.
Yeah, right. Get someone else to do your posting for you.
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram, and maybe I'm just doing one post, or maybe even just 2 posts a week or something like that, right? What are the top hacks I can start implementing now? Some simple top hacks that I can start implementing now to reach more people and grow the number of leads I receive from Facebook.
So the top hack, and this took me a little bit to learn, but friend everyone you do business with. So if even, and I'm not talking about real estate. Okay. I'm talking about the person you bought your car from, your doctor, your CPA,
Oh,
your lawyer, and you just keep going from there and jog your memory of all the people you've known and anyone who's influential, because those people have money to do business with you, right? Once you friend them, guess what you can simply do?
You were saying friend everyone you've done business with, and you're not talking about just in real estate. You're talking
Yes.
about hairdresser, attorney, whatever. And you were
Yes.
going to say, you know what's good about that? And then we lost you.
So what's good about that is that you're already doing business with them, so you trust them, so they should trust you. But in the flip side, when it comes to the social media side, when you go to their account, you can see their friends too, and you can friend their friends, which helps build influential people and their friends. And then once you get in with that one deal and you actually close a deal with one of those people, and you do a fantastic job, you will end up getting all of their friends' business as well. I can tell you a quick story if you want about how that happened to me.
Go ahead.
All right. So luckily, I went to school with one of my sister's friends and his sister. And come to find out, he ended up becoming a doctor in Fort Myers. So an ER doctor. So there's like 36 ER doctors in Lee Health here in Fort Myers. And he bought a house in this community called Paseo. I'm sure a lot of you guys know it. And he messaged me. I didn't sell him that house. But I messaged him one day after he liked one of my posts, and this is where it all comes in, exactly what I do. He liked my post, and I messaged him, and I was like, "Hey, Jeremy, congrats on buying your house. If you ever need help with anything, just give me a shout." So he appreciated me reaching out to him and saying that. And then it came back that he said, "I actually want to sell this place." Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So when that happened, he's like, "I want to live in Renaissance." And I'm like, "Well, there's no, I want to build a house in there. That's where I want to be." A couple of my doctor friends live in there. And I was like, "All right, well, let me find a lot for you." So I went and I actually found an off-market lot. I literally went on MLS and just looked at the map and started clicking on units. And I found a lot that wasn't even listed, but I found out who sold it to the new owner, which was like 5 years ago. And I called that agent. I said, "Would your client want to sell that lot?" And I ended up selling it to him for 160,000. And they're probably going for like 800,000 right now. So, and then I helped him build a house. And then he told me about his other doctor friend. I sold his house for $895 in Cape, and then sold him another house 3 houses down from the house he was building in Renaissance as well. And then I just sold another doctor house on McGregor for 1.8 million. So just all of that combined probably was around 10 million just from that one message.
And that one message was someone that you connected with, and you saw that his friend had bought a house. Is that what?
No, he was actually, I went to high school with him.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes. And so that's what I'm saying. Like there's so many people that you guys know that aren't even on your social media. And it's really sad, because if you have 1,000 friends on social media, a heck of a lot more people than that. So you need to find a way to think about, you can actually go on Google and go to Memory Jogger and pull up a memory jogger. And what that is literally just a sheet of paper that you print out, and it'll remind you of everyone you've ever met in your life, even that you went to college with, your parents know, and then you just search them on social media and friend them.
I love that. Now, Nick, let me ask you a quick question. So a lot of the agents that I coach, when they go in and they look at their Facebook page, they are friends with, let's say half of their friends end up being realtors. Mm-hmm. So local realtors, right? Mm-hmm. So if you go on your Facebook and you see that 50% are other realtors, and that in your feed, you're constantly seeing other realtors in your feed. So therefore you're probably only in their feed. How do you change that so you show up in front of everybody else?
How you change that is you unfriend them.
So are you friends with a lot of No, let's not say that. But like,
so this is what you do.
Yeah.
This is the method to the madness. What you do is, how many of those realtors do 10% of the volume in your area? You keep them. the other people that do not do 10% of the volume in the area, you get rid of them because they're not doing anything for you. You have to treat your social media like a business, no matter what you're doing at all times. It's all about business. So you might hurt someone's feelings, but it doesn't matter. Is it making you money? Right. So, and if you are friends with realtors, I'm friends with a ton of realtors. There's probably people watching me right now I'm friends with on Facebook as well. And, you know, what I do is I just hit unfollow. I'm still friends with them. You know, I'm getting very close to 5,000 though. So I'm going to have to start weeding through some people pretty soon so that I can keep adding new clients to my database, just like a CRM. And that's the problem with Facebook, is that you're going to get capped out at it. But the good thing about it is that people can still follow you. So for instance, Josh started doing reels. Okay. And I've never seen anyone's social media blow up like his in my entire life. He, just from doing like funny reels about construction, he, in the last, you can go look at his page right now, in the last probably 3 months, he's gained 10,000 followers. 10,000 wow. Just from posting 30-second reels. Some of them have
not necessarily friends with him.
No one is. Nope. Yep. He has over 4 million views on some of his videos too. So that's his thing. I mean, my thing is, you know, just staying connected with the people who I'm currently doing business with, and just messaging them through social media. It's just easier to do it that way than picking up the phone and calling for me. Because literally I just click on their name, I go to message on my phone, and I speak a message to them. I'm like, hey, you know how you can hit the talk button on speaker? And you just say something to them, you know, that's it. And literally 10 minutes later, they get back to you and they're like, oh, my mom's thinking about selling her house up in Missouri. And do you know anybody? Yes, I do.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, I do know someone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all, the answer is always yes, you know, whenever someone asks that question, because you got to farm earth, not where you live, you know? So,
right.
Yeah.
Farm earth. Listen to that, guys. He said you got to farm earth, not where you live. Mm-hmm. Social media, you can farm earth, not where you live. Because yes, you always know a realtor in another location. Okay, so one thing, Nick, real quick, I want to go back. Okay, so the number one hack that you said is friend everyone you've done business with, not just who you've sold real estate to. Go to Google, Memory Jogger, search Memory Jogger, and you can find a tool there to help you with that.
Yes.
Also, you said, as far as if a lot of realtors are clogging up your social media feed or your social media, find out who owns 10% of the business of the market and only stay friends with them and unfollow the rest.
You know why?
Or unfriend them, right?
You know why I say that, right?
Well, because they're a great referral opportunity. If they're not local, right? No, okay, I'm wrong. Go ahead.
Because you want to mimic what they're doing. Like you don't have, you got to like mimic what the people who are successful are doing, because they're successful for a reason. So when Josh started on our team, you know, I think he did like 6 deals prior to joining our team. And last year solo, he did 22 million. So that's a massive success story. And I remember him coming to my office and sitting down in front of me when he wanted to join the team. And I literally interviewed him, and he didn't even have his Facebook turned on at all. Right. And I'm like, so tell me your background. Never met him. He was the greenest person I've ever met in my life when it came to real estate. And he's okay with me saying that. But he sat down in front of me and told me his wife is like 9th generation from Naples. I was like, give me your phone right now, dude. Like, you kidding me? Like, right? So I taught him how to like friend all her friends and start posting in groups. And every single day he would come and sit down in the office for 6 months. He did this, and he literally would create posts, friend people, and message people every single day for 30 to 45 minutes every single day. And that's all it took. And then this one client hit from a group that he was in, a Moving to Naples group. I'm sure you guys know it. And he gave him a fictitious name because he was in the Department of Defense. And we ended up doing, I think, 8 deals with that guy. We just sold him another house on Marco for 1.25. We sold his house last year for 2.25, or no, 2.9, and sold it to him before the year prior for 2.25. So he's bought like, I think 8 houses with us already, and that's probably 12 million just from that one guy.
So, all right. So that's one hack. Well, let me get to the questions because we're only got 8 minutes. I tell you what, this is not long enough, right? What social media platforms do you use? Dovile wants to know, what social media platforms do you use?
Okay. I use Facebook, obviously, but I use LinkedIn as well. And one thing that a lot of people don't use, and they should be posting on it literally religiously every day, just like Facebook, is Google My Business.
Yes. All right. Talk about Google My Business.
So Google My Business will help your SEO with your name, your brand, everything. And a lot of people don't even know about it. And the thing about Google My Business is, you don't have to have a site. Like, you don't have to have a brick and mortar to own a Google My Business, right? And it's super easy to set up. You can just download the app. You can take any post that you do on Facebook or LinkedIn and copy it and literally paste it just into Google My Business, and it actually posts on Google like a news feed. And then you can take Google My Business. It actually creates a website for you too that you can use for free. Once people start searching you and you start getting reviews, your SEO jumps up. I've been getting messages from Google's and call from Google that I don't pay any money for Google at all. And I get at least 5 to 10 a month.
Leads.
Yes.
5 to 10 a month. Free.
For free. Yep.
For free.
I just got one last night where they messaged me and want me to list their property.
Nice. I love it.
It's not even like I want you to come over and interview. I want you to come list my property.
List me calls are the best, right? They're the absolute best. Okay. So friend everyone that you've done business with, not just who you've sold. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google My Business is the second hack. So another question I have is, Joanne, what are Reels videos? You know what? Those are, well, you want to say real quick what Reels are, Nick? They're on, they're on Instagram, right?
Well, they're on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah. So Josh uses the Facebook ones. You can actually, once you get enough followers on Facebook, you can actually get paid for Reels. Josh is getting paid to do Reels. So once you're scrolling through your feed, which I don't do, you will see Reels pop up, or you can just go to post on your phone and you'll see post a reel, and it's just a short blip it video. It's almost like a TikTok. One thing that you have to know though, is if you're doing TikToks and you post it as a reel, because when you do a TikTok, it saves it to your phone, right? The video. Mm-hmm. And then if you post that to a reel, Facebook doesn't like it.
No. And so they kind of block it a little bit.
Yeah. And if you do end up getting paid for doing reels, then they won't pay you if you post TikTok reels.
If you're doing TikTok reels. Yeah, absolutely.
So Nick, you're saying don't post from TikTok, or take that generated video from the TikTok saved and repost it.
Exactly, on your Facebook reels. Yep. Just do it.
Okay, because right now I share from TikTok to Instagram, and then my Instagram shares to Facebook as well.
Yeah, you're not going to get as much. You're not going to get hardly any reach because Facebook knows it's a TikTok because it's branded.
All right. Thanks for that tip. I appreciate it.
There you go, Kayla. There you go. Focus on Reels. Don't use TikTok if you're going to do that. Okay, good. So Nick, I have another question. One of the things I love that you just said, and I want you guys to hear this, okay? Because, we can listen to stuff about social media and get overwhelmed. And then what we do is we shut down and we say, we're not going to use it. But let me just put a different spin on it. I don't know if you heard what Nick said, but Nick said, Josh is doing Reels and he's gotten this result from doing Reels. And now he's getting paid to do Reels. And Nick knows the power of Reels, but guess what Nick said? I'm not doing that. It's not my thing. I'm doing this. I love the interaction. I love to communicate with people one-on-one. That's what I do. So what I'm hearing you say is be authentic to you and find what you love to do. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
You just like, if there's a nail and you hit it right there, boom, on the head, you just, that's what it is. And it's like that in anything in life, you know, if I'm on Facebook and I'm posting stuff that I don't love or that I don't love to do, it looks fake and people see right through it. So if I was to get on video and start doing reels, they wouldn't be like Josh's, because I'm not like Josh. You know, I'm my own person, and everybody else is their own person too. And you all have your own niches. So you just need to figure out what those niches are and how to pretty much blog about it. You know, my Facebook, I treat it like a blog. Telling stories, right? You know, it's a blog about my life that I can look back on, show my kids and my family. And it's just like, it's really a magical thing. It's not just about business, you know.
It's about authenticity. Guys, I was listening to a podcast this morning, a marketing podcast, because and I'm listening to, one of the things I love is I love marketing, right? And I love listening to marketing podcasts and listening to how behavior has changed from the beginning of the pandemic to now. And I won't go into the whole podcast because they talked about the 3 types of consumers. And all of you as real estate agents, we have consumers, right, Nick?
Yep.
And they were talking about the 3 types of consumers, which that have emerged after the pandemic. I won't go into those, but in every single consumer, and in real estate, we get the opportunity to work with all 3 of those consumers. If you are an Abercrombie retailer, or you're if you're Saks Fifth Avenue, you might focus on one set of consumers. In real estate, we get to interact with all 3, because everybody, you know, they're all buying a house. But one of the overarching things is authenticity. You have to show up authentic to who you are. If not, people are out of it. They don't want to see all of this fake, branded, curated stuff anymore. They're tired of it, right? Yep. And it was really eye-opening how they just want you to show up as you are, and people connect with you with that. I loved it. It was very interesting. Say a little bit more about that, Nick, because I know you've always talked about be authentic, be authentic.
Well, I mean, there's stuff that I love to post, and I love inspirational stuff. I love funny stuff. I love my family. I love sharing that, and I love real estate. Like Lindsay always says, like she can tell, like I love it. You know, like I was at the beach with her, and of course I had a property on the market for a month, and I just sold her for full price while I'm there with multiple offers, and it's been a month, right? And I'm like jumping up and down in the living room, you know. And she's like, you know, so like I should post that, you know what I mean? Because that's what I did, and that's what I do. So you got to think about your daily things that you do and just share what you're doing. And that's literally it, because it's just, yeah, pretty exactly. How much time do I spend a day? I thought someone was saying, you post every day, like what you're doing. And you post it on stories too, because people look at that. And when people look at your stories, you can see who's following you right there. Boom. And it's just so easy to message them. And vice versa. If someone clicks on one of my stories and like puts a heart or something, it direct messages me, you know?
I love that. Okay. So Nick, it's 9:00. We're going to run a second or 2 over, guys, because I want to ask Nick, there's 2 more questions I want to ask him. One is, what is your system for posting? So say I'm a newbie. I'm not into this. Like I'm a little bit scared of it because I just don't know what to do and I don't know what to say. And we know that if you have a system or a model, that builds consistency, because one of the things I know about you, Nick, is you have a consistency on social media. There is a plan behind it. So how can I start with how much should I post and what should I post?
3 times a day. Jab, 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 right hook is a great book by Gary Vee. That's pretty much my tactic. But every morning I wake up, look at my memories on my phone. It's 6:30 or 6 whenever I get out of bed or laying in bed or whatever. And I look and see my past posts for the last 9 years, because I've been on social media 9 years. So I have plenty of stuff in there I can either steal from or whatever, you know. And a lot of times at night, I'll think in my head about what I'm going to post the next day too. I go back and I actually look through my own Facebook and critique it and say, I haven't done this in a while, so I need to do this. And the jabs are my quotes, my humor, my family, my lifestyle, and the right hook is real estate.
Okay, guys, if you didn't get that, this is on my real estate page on, it's being recorded. So you can go back and listen to it again. All right. Matt Steves, is stories post or regular post more effective?
You just do both, non-negotiable, but more effective, obviously posts are because stories go away.
Gotcha. Posts are there forever. All right. So last thing, first of all, if you are part of the Keller Williams Naples office, you can go to or Zoom into Nick, Josh, and Steve's training today at noon. I plan to ask the leadership of KW Naples if I can share this on this training that they're going to do today on my real estate page, so the coaching page, so all of you can have access to it. Last thing I want to do is, Nick, you guys just expanded. Now, expansion, we won't get into talking about what that is, but that is something within Keller Williams where rainmakers like Nick, Josh, and Steve, who own a big business, they can expand their real estate business to another location, even another state, by leveraging talented agents in that state. And you guys just have your first expansion opportunity. Where did you go?
Cleveland.
That's awesome. Cleveland rocks. And that's because the talent showed up there, right?
We have 3 people there already.
3 people there already. Okay. And I know you're always looking for talent for your team.
I need someone in Sarasota like yesterday.
You need someone in Sarasota like yesterday, because you guys are getting leads for the whole entire state of Florida, right? Okay.
I get leads for the whole nation.
For the whole nation. All right. So here's what I want to ask you. If I'm an agent and I'm looking to join a team or be a part of the Luxury Alliance group, what kind of candidate are you looking for? What is their behavior? What do you want to see from someone who wants to join your team?
It's funny. I actually had someone that left our team, interviewed with us and went to another team, and then called me yesterday and wanted to come back and try our team. And I told him no. So I want someone that's going to take us seriously, do exactly what we do, do what we preach and do it consistently every single day. And if you don't, you're not going to work out. It's not, and what we do it's not a quick fix. You know what I mean? It's a consistent everyday grind that you have to have. And if you don't, then it's just not going to work out. So we need the grinders. I would love people who have done at least like 5 deals. That way they have their feet wet. Anybody that's done 20 million, I would love them too, but I like to teach. Like I'm a leader like you, Becky. I love to teach people. I love to get people that are newbies and watch them just grow. And it just makes my day. And I just that's all I want to do anymore. I want to do real estate still, but I want to teach people how to do what I do and make them uber successful.
I love that, Nick. So the other thing I heard you say, and I want you guys to hear this, Nick said it's a grind. So just because it's social media doesn't mean it's easier lead generation. It's still lead generation.
Exactly.
And it still requires a commitment to the system and consistency. Is that what I hear you saying?
That's 1,000,000% exactly what you have to do. And It's like that with anything. It's like that if you're going to cold door knock, and you go do it one time, you're not going to get a damn thing, but you go do it 100 times, you're going to. So it's all the one thing, that's what it is. And you have to be committed to it. And this is our one thing.
I love it. That's your one thing. So you have to go all in. Here's the thing, guys. I love what Nick is saying, because Nick is saying exactly what we talk about in this book right here. If you chase 2 rabbits, you won't catch either one. It's the one thing. It's the one thing. Last thing is, so Matt, Steve, since you're with KW Naples, you've got some questions in the box, but we've got to go. Nick has a class today at noon. Oh, I just dropped my books everywhere. Nick has a class today at noon. Go to that class, and Nick and Josh and Steve can answer these questions. Guys, Nick, how can people reach you? If they want to reach you and ask you more questions or even inquire about becoming a part of your ecosystem there at Luxury Alliance, how do they get in contact with you?
The easiest thing is just my email because it's easy to remember. It's luxuryallianceteam@kw.com.
So Luxury Alliance Team at kw.com.
Yep.
Luxury Alliance Team at kw.com. All right, Nick, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday as you and myself and my husband and one other gets out on the golf course. We'll post some pictures about that, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Thank you so much. And
bye, guys.
I appreciate you as always. Thank you, Nick. Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye.